You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries. As we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots, you know the actions you can take how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. But before I get into our intriguing content today, please join me in welcoming our featured guest and repeat offender. Jim Norton's in the house.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, Jim Norton.
Thank you for having me back.
Glad to have you with us. And let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you, and you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are operators standing by.
Quiet, numbskulls. I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan, a plan to save you money, I personally work with you, even if you don't have any needs today. Save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, of course, we are celebrating today. A lot to celebrate today. I'm just laughing at this one because I know that my team did not create one that says Go Skateboarding Day. They know me way too well. The board would break. Not a chance we go skateboarding. National Arizona Day. That's a drink, right? Isn't that a tea? I think the Arizona Day is a tea that they have. We didn't do that one either. Daylight Appreciation Day. Another one. I don't. Jim Norton's old enough, so he remembers the Gong Show.
Yes.
So today's the day of the Gong. Chuck Burris, right?
Chuck Burris. Was it Chuck Burris or Chuck Berry? No, Chuck Berry was the guitarist. Sorry.
Well, I don't remember that one. Day of the No, we don't do that one. But hey, whoa. Peaches and Cream Day. Yeah, that looks good. I'm looking at the pic. You know, I can't read very well, so I look at pictures, and that looks like a good picture with the cherry on top and everything. I don't know what the reddish sauce is on the side, though. I don't know what that is, but hey, looks good to me. Let's take a look. National Smoothie Day. Yeah, I go for smoothie as well. That sounds like another one. I do some selfies now and then. Most people don't want to see those. It's good for humor. People look at those and they kind of laugh, but that's a whole different story. You gotta look at the markets today. Not bad. The Dow Jones Industrial Average up 492 points. S&P 500 up 82. NASDAQ up 293. And oil, it's up $1 a barrel. Okay, it's at $110 a barrel. Gas prices, let's take a look at them. Well, California, maybe we don't want to look at them. California, $6.38 a gallon. Ow! And going up because we get to get more taxes coming on later. Well, at the end of the month, I guess we had another tax onto our gas prices starting the 1st of July. Might all be offset a little bit by the president. He's still thinking, translation, somebody hasn't told him what to say yet, that he might want to put a gas tax holiday on. I don't know. When I was learning in school, I thought that the House of Representatives was the one that did taxation. I never realized it was the president. Maybe that's changed in the Constitution since I went to school. But it used to be that the taxes all started with the House of Representatives. The Senate would vote on them, and they'd go to the president for signing. But I guess nowadays we just do things the other way around. I'm just curious about that. And I had some people yesterday that did not understand me when I shared the idea that we're doing a gas tax holiday is the exact wrong thing to do. Because you encourage, when you throw money at something, it's encouraging something, whatever that might be, right? You throw money at a cashier because you want a dozen eggs, right? Give them more money, they'll give you more eggs. Pretty simple. Now, you got the same thing. Now, if there's an abundance of eggs, well, you throw more money at it to create, so you get more chickens going and doing their thing, and you get more eggs, right? Because you're trying to create more demand. Why is the Federal Reserve increasing their Fed funds rate? They want to slow the economy. They charge more to slow the economy. They're putting more money, they're taking money away from people, making it harder to get money. They're decreasing the demand. Now, what is the president talking about? Well, gas tax holiday. So what would that do? Well, the idea there is you're going to get people to want to buy more gas, right? As gas prices go up, have you noticed that maybe you're not going out for dinner quite as often? Maybe you're not going quite as far when you're going to dinner, buying a meal. Maybe you're staying home. I don't, but maybe you're going to walk. Maybe you're going to take a bike. Maybe you're going to go someplace closer proximity. You're going to do less because the gas prices are so outrageously expensive. Here again, Calizuela, $6.38 a gallon. Josh is at $5.64 over there in Nevada, right there. But you take that gas price down, and what do people do? Maybe we will go away for July 4th if the prices are cheaper. But wait a second, does that help the supply of gasoline? No. I don't think it's even going to help that the president's going over to grovel in Saudi Arabia. Why? Because they like the idea of gas prices at this level. They liked it better last week when it was $120 a barrel. Today it's $110 a barrel of gasoline. Now, I just shared with you that equate right now, we're at $4.97 a gallon of gasoline on the average across the United States. Now, with oil prices right now at $110 a barrel, I've shared with you exactly how to figure out what the price of a gallon of gasoline will be after we finish this mess that's going on right now. What are we going to do? Okay, so we're going to look at the gas prices, and I had the sheet here just a minute ago. We'll see if I can find it again. There it is. So $110 a barrel of gasoline, of oil. Refining, you multiply that 110 times 1.5. Converting it to a gallon, there's 42 gallons in that barrel. That's how much they can make out of it. Comes out to $3.96 a gallon. Add profit and taxes, $4.76 a gallon on the national level. So that's what the $110 a barrel price converts to, is $4.76. And where are we today? Well, we're at $4.96. That means gas prices should drop, but wait a second. Here's the analogy. Gas prices go up on the elevator and they go down on the staircase. Just think about that. You can walk down the steps. It's going to be a lot slower going down than it is to go up. Just throw that out there. So if you want that gas holiday, it is a short-term fix. Over the long term, gas prices go right back up again because that gallon of oil will go from 110 to 120. What happens when you take that oil from 110 to 120? Let's just throw 125 into our calculator here. And that means $5.26 would be the national average based on $125 a barrel. And I've told you, my forecast is we're going to 130. I'm not giving you an idea to go buy it. I'm just saying we're going to $130 a barrel. That means $5.44 on the national level, and add another 25% if you live in California. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back on the town with Visit Anaheim, we've got that segment for you today. The average homeowner gained $64,000 in equity over the past year. And I'm going to talk to Jim Norton. There's a lot of folks out there right now that are saying real estate values are going to drop. Do you think the investors might want to cash out and sell to their renters right now? Might be a thought. We'll talk to Jim Norton about it. You can reach me anytime. Off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you could retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less, all without having to spend more each month than you spend right now? Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis, rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com.
Are you paying rent because you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you paying rent because you don't believe you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? At Siegel Lending Team at ronismylender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel Lending Team today at ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037. ronismylender.com.
Homeowners over the age of 62 are taking back financial control after retirement with reverse mortgages, and the Siegel Lending Team is here to help you use it to your advantage. Call Ron Siegel with Geneva Financial to receive your free information booklet with no obligation. The booklet answers all your questions, and the best part is, you still own your home. Call Ron Siegel at 1-800-306-1990 or visit ronsiegelradio.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. You need some... Joe Ingram, you're going to drive me nuts, man. And I deserve it because I give you the same rash on your broadcast. Joe Ingram, if you want to run, you can read the notes in front of you. If you want, I don't know anybody that wants to run. I just don't know that one, but that's a whole different story. But in any event, the Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Let's check and see what the markets are doing now. Well, we've got the S&P 500 is up 82 points right now. We've got the 10-year Treasury up 3 basis points to 330. The mortgage-backed securities are down 19 basis points. And, of course, I'm going to tell you OBMI provides the most comprehensive, accurate, timely, and interactive analysis of pricing ever conducted in the mortgage industry, calculated from actual locked rates with consumers across 35% of all mortgage transactions nationwide. Loans yesterday, well, it's actually for Friday, being that the markets were closed yesterday. 5.95 was where loans locked at, down 3.9 basis points. The jumbo loans locked at 5.534. They were up very, very slightly. The 30-year fixed FHA mortgage was at 5.689. Best loan on the market for those who earned it. The VA loan, 5.52. And yes, if you are in those rural areas, no down payment, USDA loan, if you qualify, 5.62 is where those closed at. But why is all that happening? You can get all that information right there on the super secret website, google.com. But why is it happening? What's driving these numbers? Well, existing home sales tracks closings on existing homes decreased by 3.4% in May at a 5.41 million unit annualized pace, which was just above the estimate of 5.4 million estimate. Supply was down 4.1% from a year ago, and the median existing home price was $407,000 in May, a 14.8% rise from a year ago at 123 consecutive months of year-over-year increases, longest running streak on record. And I'm here to tell you the streak is almost over. because we're starting to look at more current data, because that, if you notice, was from May. That's where that report comes from. And yes, we do get some data that comes out even more current. I get it every Monday, and if you want a copy of it, you can always go ask me. I can give you these reports for free for any zip code in the country. We get it from a service called Altos Research. Well, we're now at the inventory is higher than we were at any time during 2021, at 418,000 properties on the market, single family residence. We were back in 2019, this time 2019, there were 963,000 properties. Median home price on this particular recently, 454,000. New listings though were coming on the market at 425,000. And here's the one that tells us the tale of what's going on. Price reductions on real estate. Normally we get about 30% of the properties have a price reduction. We had been down under 20%. Now we're at 27.2. Last time we were seeing numbers like this was when interest rates were rising in 2018. So we're watching all of that going on for you right now. And what that's doing is it's actually just giving us data on our topic of the day, but we'll get into that in just a minute. That's the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. This morning we got the Jim Norton in with us. Jim comes in and shares insights and thoughts. He watches some of the crazy media that I watch, and they have technical terms. So Jim and I are laughing off air about some of the technical terms that we get economists that use. Now, I did hear this, Jim. I don't know. Well, it speaks for itself. 86% of all stats are made up on the spot.
That's probably true.
And that was a stat, so that was part of the 86%.
But then you know, well, they used the term this morning that the market was weird, a technical term, a trade term, obviously. But it's like, if you're going to speak about the market, at least speak in terms of exact numbers. Of course, like you said, though, the problem with numbers are you had last month's numbers, you're reporting on them today, which doesn't reflect something that's happened in the last 30 days. Well,
I'm going to submit, Jim, you've been around long enough that is this market really weird? Because we've seen this before.
No, it's always the everybody throws around the recession term. I would prefer to use the term downturn as the supply and demand shift. Of course, in this case, we have the supply of buyers is getting smaller, and the inventory seems like it's getting a little bigger, but it is a selling season. School's out. Everybody wants to move, make their shift. So with that in mind, then you get a little bit of downturn. And so as it's moving down, your real estate agent has to help you price it accordingly for the market. The problem is everybody's still trying to price it accordingly for the market that was.
There you
not
go.
The market that is.
So, and I'm glad you brought that up, because it is in the charts that I've been just looking at it. They just come in yesterday. I mean, so it's not like it's something that's that we haven't that is out there in the marketplace. We get charts on a very, very regular basis, just because that's what we do. We have to report current data as well as we try and give you this much more timely. So the markets are coming out with these things, or the reports that come out. Well, they don't look at it. We try and get it to you before the main media is really even getting there. And what we're seeing in the marketplace, seeing in these charts, is immediate sales are dropping. So those people that have kind of worked a deal behind the scenes to find a buyer and a seller, the number of those are dropping. We're seeing that the price reductions are increasing, which tells us that, and we see that the charts are actually telling us that we're going to see more price reductions than we even saw in 2018.
Yes.
So what that really means to me, and I'll throw it to you, Jim, get your input on it. What it says to me is that you really more than ever, you need great guidance.
You do. You need great guidance. You need a a good realtor that can understand what the market's doing, how it's changing, and what price point you should be in. There is nothing wrong with selling today. You're going to do very well. Like you said, we increased, what was last year's gain? 16%.
Yeah.
Over the year. So you gained a lot of equity. You're not going to have, I mean, the buyer though is not going to find a 50% bargain drop. That isn't going to happen.
No, but I think what's going
to happen is that you've got to look at it as where you thought you were going to get, let's just use your old 500. We always say 500.
Right.
So what was 500 might not be 500 anymore. It might be 475. It just depends on what the pool of buyers and which market you're in. Obviously, the higher your price of your house, the pool is going to get a little less
smaller number of buyers.
Right, smaller number.
So here's the issue that I'm going to throw at you, Jim, is if we're watching a dramatic increase, the graph of properties with recent price reductions is growing dramatically. If you say, okay, well, I'm going to wait until September to put my house on the market, I'm going to submit that you're probably not going to get as much money as you're going to get today.
That's possibly true. I mean, when it's pointing down, you generally want to get in the market as it's going down, not when it gets down all the way, because like you said, and then you don't know when it's going to turn up. Nobody knows.
Right.
We've talked about this before. Nobody has a crystal ball. If we did, we wouldn't be on the radio. We'd be doing something else.
Yeah, and I'm looking at new listings. The median price of new listings on single family residence has already turned down. So even though the median home price is still at 454, new listings coming on the market are 425. Mm-hmm. So that already tells us that you better not be thinking about what was happening in the market in January and February. You better start thinking about what's gonna happen in August and September.
Exactly. Those are the people that are going to do better. Sales time has increased. I think it's what was about a maximum of 7 days. I think it's now 14. It's going to be heading to 21, which is interesting because an average market over time has always been about 21 to 30 days for a house to sell. And so you're really just getting back to average. Which still is not a bad place. I mean, it's
getting to normal.
Golfers adage, what's wrong with shooting par in the U.S. Open? Not bad, not much.
Yeah, you probably made a nice 6-figure check.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
so you'll do fairly well. But if you're basing your thoughts, now you got to remember if you're an investor and you have some ideas, maybe it's time to switch that property. You want it to, maybe it's time that you sell that property. And you switch it while the prices are down a little bit. You switch it to what you wanted. Maybe you have a single family. You wanted to get 2 condos. You wanted to get a duplex, a fourplex or something. It's time to do. Everybody thinks in terms of one-sided. Oh, gee, I can't sell it for as much. But on the other hand, you can buy something for less.
So here's the average days on the market, 92808. Average days on the market is 35.
Okay.
Median days, that means half the property sold in less, half the property sold in more. You don't average them out. Just go count them all the way up. If you had 11 properties sold, you look at number 6. That way it's 5's above, 5's below. What is number 6? That's the median number. 14 days, median days on the market for 92808. That's Anaheim Hills area.
Yeah.
So properties are selling, and the chart is fairly flat. I mean, it went up a few weeks back, but it's still fairly flat. If you want to get these reports, again, just let me know, 800-306-1990. I'll give you a report for any city that you would like. But here's the whole concept that I'm going to talk to Jim about when we come back is, okay, so what about cashing out? And I'm going to share this with you, and we'll get Jim's opinion because I know what it is. Has anybody ever gone broke taking a profit? You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, the average homeowner gained $64,000 in equity over the past year on the town with Visit Anaheim. We've got the report coming up. You can reach me anytime off air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you missed any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the number one on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you could retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less, all without having to spend more each month than you spend right now? Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis. rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com.
Hey friends, do you dream of mortgage-free home ownership? Are you aware that even if you own your home free and clear, it could still be costing you thousands per year? The Siegel Lending Team can help you generate tax-free income, accumulate family wealth, and maintain ownership of your home. By simply emailing your most recent mortgage statement, you'll receive a no-obligation real estate plan. Learn more by calling 1-800-306-1990 or email me your recent mortgage statement to PEAR@RonSiegelRadio.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694552. You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, the real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Visit rsrhomescout.com, rsrhomescout.com. Find out about any property in the country. About 97% of the country is listed on homescout.com. So you can get that right there. You can also go to the fourth tab over, find out pretty much what any property in the country is valued at with 4 different valuations on there, including the one that's, well, I'm not going to say that. They're generally inaccurate. So it's all there. The average homeowner gained $64,000 in equity over the past year. If you own a home, your net worth likely just got a big boost thanks to rising home equity. Equity is the current value of your home minus what you owe on the loan. And today, based on recent home price appreciation, you're building that equity far faster than you expect. Here's how it works. Because there's an ongoing imbalance between the number of homes available for sale and the number of buyers looking to make a purchase, home prices are on the rise. That means your home is worth more in today's market because it's in high demand. As Patrick Dodd, president and CEO of CoreLogic, explains, quote, price growth. Whoops, I just lost the report there because something dumb popped up on my screen. Got to get his quote correct, otherwise I get in trouble. Price growth is the key ingredient for the creation of home equity wealth. This has led to the largest one-year gain in average home equity wealth for homeowners, unquote. Basically, your home value has likely climbed so much, your equity has increased too, according to the latest homeowner equity insights from CoreLogic. The average homeowner's equity has grown by $64,000 over the last 12 months. While that's the nationwide number, if you want to know what's happening in your area, well, if you're watching us on ronsiegelradio.tv, any of our socials, or the ABC News and Talk AM 1490 video feed, you're seeing a map of the country, and you see that California says $141,000. Josh, you guys aren't too far behind. 91,000 out there in Nevada. Not bad. Jody, you're at 96 in Arizona. And I guess if you don't pay a lot in gas, you don't get as much money in the real estate. So our tremendous underwriter, Lori, they've got 28,000 appreciation there in Louisiana. National average, though, 64,000. The opportunity your rising home equity provides, in addition to building your overall net worth, equity can also help you achieve other goals like buying your next home. When you sell your current house, the equity you built up comes back to you in the sale. In a market where homeowners are gaining so much equity, it may be just what you need to cover a large portion, if not all, of the down payment on your next home. So if you've been holding off on selling and you're worried about being priced out of your next home because of today's ongoing price appreciation, rest assured your equity can help fuel your move. Bottom line, if you're planning to make a move, the equity you've gained can make a big impact. To find out just how much equity you have in your current home and how you can use it to fuel your next purchase, let's connect and chat. And as I always say, if you have any friends, family, or coworkers looking to buy, sell, or borrow on real estate, can I count on you to send them our way? Our team is standing by to assist. So that's the real-time real estate segment, again, brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Visit rsrhomescout.com, rsrhomescout.com. So I shared in our topic of the day the concept of cashing out. And I want to chat with Jim Norton about cashing out. And it's kind of ironic that we have the exact same report or similar report in our real-time real estate segment today. Why cash out? If you can take the cash out, right, and go buy something else. Now, if you believe that that we're heading into a recession, which we are, and if you didn't watch our broadcast yesterday, shame on you. We put a chart up yesterday, maybe Josh has that handy, that shows what happens to real estate prices during a recession. And in all but one recession, real estate, over the last 40 years, real estate prices have gone up. Again, we have to make the caveat that in 2008, real estate prices caused the recession. It wasn't a recession causing real estate prices to drop. So I think it was 1985 or 1991 or 1985, where we saw real estate prices dropped. There's a different chart yesterday, Josh, that we had. Maybe it was a day. I think it was, well, maybe it was on our market report. Okay, so it doesn't matter. We'll get it for you. We'll put it on our socials. So, Jim, the bottom line here is if you think that does it hurt to cash out? First step.
No, it doesn't hurt to cash out.
You ever go broke taking profit?
Nobody ever went broke. You're going to cash out, but just make sure your reasons for cashing out are well thought out. What are you going to do? Because once you cash out, you do pay taxes on that money. And
unless you talk to our friend Todd Halterman, and then you don't have to worry about it.
Right. Exactly. But that's why you talk to your team about it.
Right.
You're talking about what do we do? How do we handle this? I mean,
talk first.
I mean, I'm not personally excited that when I would cash out and want to pay 25% of my profits to taxes. I think the capital gains is somewhere floating around 25.
Yeah, talk to your tax person. We're not tax
people, but the point being is that you want to, if you're going to cash out, you want to keep as much cash as possible.
Absolutely.
But secondly, though, with the $64,000 in equity that you received last year, plus if you've been in it more than 2 or 3 years, you've got a lot of pent up equity. Now, equity, as we know, doesn't make any interest, doesn't accrue interest, doesn't do anything.
No income on equity.
No income on equity. So, is this a good time to look at doing a cash out loan? just got to run the numbers. It's a numbers game. If the numbers are there, then get that cash out and then get up here and start buying something that's coming on the market, and then expand your portfolio. This is a good time to expand. Always in the down market, is that's when you see everybody always quotes the Warren Buffetts and the other mega oracles of the financial world. They always want to buy low, sell high, so that's
Make money then.
That's when you make money. You make your money on the low market, and then as it goes up. Now, the beauty of real estate, of course, as opposed to Bitcoin, is you can't take a loan out on Bitcoin. You have to pay cash, and that's it. But you can leverage real estate.
I've been saying for years, though, in my world, I'm just a little too conservative. I stay away from Bitcoin.
Well,
I don't like things like that.
I wouldn't Bitcoin either.
I had some friends ask me 10 years ago, or 7 years ago, what do you think about this? And I said, something, I don't understand it. I stay away from it.
Well, I go with the unregulated part.
Yeah.
There's nothing behind it. There's no.
There you go.
But anyways, we digress. The point being is that real estate, you can put 20-30% down, and you can finance the rest of it. You rent it out. Somebody's paying your payment, and you're just gathering the appreciation.
So let's take that one step further. Okay, so now I'm either side of this. I'm a landlord or I am a tenant.
Right.
And I'm thinking about buying a house. I want to get into the marketplace. So I've had this happen many, many times over the years, where a tenant is, something, I think I'm going to talk to my landlord and see if there's any interest in selling me the property.
Bought one of my houses that way that I lived in.
Oh, really?
Yeah, absolutely. I went over and looked at it. It was a little out of my price range, but I mentioned with the landlord, or with not the landlord, but would the owner be interested in taking a note? And we did the old note finance back, and brought the terms down within my budget, and did very well. Doubled my money on that house in 5 years.
Not bad right there, right?
Not bad at all.
Double your money in 5 years.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it. So here's the issue, though. I mean, I know from a lending standpoint, there are some rules that you have to follow because of they call it arm's length transaction, even though you don't have any blood relationship to the seller, but they do have arm's length transaction rules that have to be followed, which is not that difficult. If you call us, our team knows about those. But the whole issue becomes one that, something, maybe you just want to talk to the landlord, right? Maybe they have an interest. Maybe, if you don't have that conversation, the answer is no.
Right.
If you have the conversation, the answer might be no.
Well, why wouldn't you start with the place you're in? Why would you sit there and say, you have this conversation in the household, and you decide we're going to buy a house instead of rent anymore? Why wouldn't you talk to the owner, the first one? You're in the house already. You know a little bit about the owner's situation, and then you got to find out, are they open to this idea? I mean, it's a simple concept. It's been done for ages.
It's been done so long that there's rules for it.
There's rules for it, but at the same time, people think it's not available, and it's readily available. It's probably the best. It used to be what everybody used to do. They'd work on the farm, and then the farmer would retire, and the kid would take over the farm and then pay the farmer, whatever the arrangement was. I mean, it was probably a little simpler back then. I'm sure contractually it was on a 1-page piece of paper. Now it's on probably about 65 pages. But the point being is that's the best place to start. And you go, and then you can also owner financing.
Sure, that's available too.
That's available too. There's
all or part.
We're so inundated with commercials from major lenders and everything. We forget that owners can do financing if they want to carry the note.
And that's a real simple way of doing it. And they make the rules then, so you have to just understand that part of it. But they don't even think they can do part of the process too, right?
Most of the time they follow standard mortgage operation.
Yeah.
They don't really come up with something crazy like, deliver me 5 cows at the end of every quarter. No,
they're not doing that. Yeah. But the bottom line is they're not in that business.
Right.
So with them not being in that business, they don't necessarily know exactly how to write a mortgage note.
Right.
Right.
But at the same time, if you have a good agent, the agent's going to help you, walk through these waters. They're going to help you. If you
Well,
need
there's
additional financing, they're going to bring in a mortgage consultant like yourself. You're going to probably bring in a lawyer just so you have it verified. You're still going to use an escrow.
So here's a big part of that people don't understand. Do I need an agent, a real estate agent for it? I'm going to say yes. Not because, well, yes, I have a license. I've never done a transaction. I'm not qualified. But there's a lot of legal documentation that goes into the whole process. And I'm going to submit to you that you want to get it right. It's just protection for both sides. I mean, you wouldn't go and try and buy a business without going to an attorney to drop the contract the right way. There's a lot of things you wouldn't do. You wouldn't want to, I'm not going to go there. A trust. You want to have an attorney draw up the trust document the right way, right? So you want to talk to a real estate professional so it's done with the disclosures. And even though you, as a renter, you might know the property better than the landlord knows it.
You might.
Right, because you've been living there for X amount of, well, for traditional lending, you really need to be there 6 to 12 months.
But the realtor, the agent also helps to mediate the two parties, so that for that reason, let's say the one problem that the renter has before he buys it is, let's say the air conditioner is a little old, and could we make some kind of deal on? And so those are kind of negotiations. You want somebody in the middle to help you and
kind of mediating the two.
You want to make sure you have the right paperwork and the right closing. And there are some steps in there that you might not identify if you've never been through it. But if your real estate agent is well qualified, they can be very, very helpful for the two parties.
Yeah, and it's not that they're advocating for one or the other.
No, in this case, you're really not advocating. You're advocating for the transaction.
For the transaction to make sure it's done properly and everybody's protected.
Right.
Great information. We're going to continue our conversation. Buying from your landlord. Can you do it? Yeah, we're going to talk about that. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you missed any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender. Are you tired of paying rent? Are you tired of paying someone else's mortgage? Do you know qualified folks can potentially purchase a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket? Ron Siegel can help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. If you're tired of paying someone else's mortgage, reach out to Ron today at RonIsMyLender.com. That's RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey friends, do you dream of mortgage-free home ownership? Are you aware that even if you own your home free and clear, it could still be costing you thousands per year? The Siegel Lending Team can help you generate tax-free income, accumulate family wealth, and maintain ownership of your home. By simply emailing your most recent mortgage statement, you'll receive a no-obligation real estate plan. Learn more by calling 1-800-306-1990 or email me your recent mortgage statement to PEAR@RonSiegelRadio.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender. Are you a renter and tired of making monthly payments? Paying off someone else's mortgage? Hey, it's Ron Siegel here to help you stop renting and start owning your dream home with amazing low interest rates. And you could potentially qualify for a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket. So stop renting. Start owning with Ron Siegel. Learn more at RonSiegelRadio.com and start owning today. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you can retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit RSRNodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less, all without having to spend more each month than you spend right now? Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis, rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990 on the town with Visit Anaheim. Love this part of the week. Every week at this time, we bring you a major event of the week, a romantic event of the week, and a family event of the week, all brought to you by Visit Anaheim. Major event VidCon is returning to Anaheim Convention Center June 22nd to 25th, where the world's leading digital creators, platform innovators, and their fans converge in one place. VidCon is the place to experience all of that online magic and wonder in real life. Creators, fans, brands, all together in one place. You can learn more and purchase tickets at vidcon.com/tickets. vidcon.com/tickets. For the romantic in you, the Fifth Rooftop Bar and Restaurant. Treat your significant other to some craft cocktails, delicious eats, live music, and stunning views at the Fifth Rooftop Restaurant and Bar, located at the Grand Legacy at the Park. This Saturday, DJ Killer B will be spinning, starting at, easy for me to say. DJ Killer B will be spinning starting at 8 p.m. Reservations are not required, but recommended. And if you've ever been at the Rooftop Restaurant and Bar, really, really cool place. Family event of the week, Kip Berry's Magic Cabaret. Where's my voice today? Kip Berry's Magic Cabaret. Come see what critics have acclaimed as Southern California's #1 magic and variety dinner show, Kip Berry's Magical Cabaret, located at the Anaheim Garden Walk. The show features everything from incredible 5-time international award-winning magician and vocalist Kip Berry to live fire eaters and even a 3D pre-show. Dinner and drink packages available for purchase. You can purchase your ticket at kipberriesmagicalcabaret.com. kipberriesmagicalcabaret.com. Interesting events right there. So you've got a magic show and a vocalist. So you think you're hearing him. Is that what? Well, I shouldn't say. But on the town, brought to you by Visit Anaheim. Got fun every week. Major event of the week, a romantic event of the week, and a family event of the week right here for your pleasure. Give you that public service. That's the On the Town segment, again, brought to you by Visit Anaheim. Continue our conversation with Jim Norton, Realty Pro 100. We were talking during the break, and Jim brought up a good concept here about kind of making money without some of the headaches. Right?
Right. We were talking about the right now you're a landlord, you have a renter, you're getting an income stream from that at this point,
or at least a
And-
revenue stream.
revenue stream. Good, thank you.
May not be income,
It
but
might
it's
not be
revenue.
income, it might be revenue. I know that one. But anyways, you're getting your revenue stream, and you've decided, though, I don't want the hassles of the management part. You sell it to your, you do an owner finance sale to your renter. You're the bank, and he's
Sure.
paying you the mortgage, and so now you're still getting a revenue stream, but you don't no longer have to have any requirements to maintain the property. He has the requirements, and it's his property. So if the garbage disposal goes out at 11 o'clock on a Sunday, you don't have to get the call.
No phone call there.
No phone call there.
Right?
So, but you're still got your revenue stream. So depending on how you're set up with your tax situation, again, your tax professional can help you with this. It could make for a great retirement stream.
Yeah, and so you get rid of the headaches, and you still get the funds, which is beautiful. And I'm going to share with you all the time. I suggest a couple of things. Talk to your CPA, and talk to our friend Todd Halterman. Both of them, they work together. It's not like you have to get rid of one to get the other, but they both kind of they might have different options, all within the law. So the CPA says, okay, well, you've been renting this out for the last 5 years. It's a rental property. Got to pay capital gains when you sell it. And Todd might say, well, if you look at this solution, maybe you don't have to pay any capital gains, and you don't have to reinvest the money, and you don't have to go buy another property. We all know that there is the option of the 1031 exchange, but maybe you don't want to be a landlord anymore. Right? Maybe you're at that stage of life, golden years. Right? Where you're saying, you know something, I've got enough property. I don't want to really deal with that. Maybe the real estate's going to go down. I don't believe so. But, if you're 75 years old, you don't want to have to, is it or is it not? Right? We have a chart available of what happens within a recession. We know that, in the 2008 recession, property values caused that recession, down 19.7%. In 1991, property values dropped 1.9. Right. Other than that, they go up. But if you are of the belief that they're going to go down for whatever reason, it doesn't matter, and you're 75 years old, you don't have the time to make it up.
Right. That's exactly correct. You don't have time to make it up. So you want to protect. And again, it's funny because people think about it on their retirement funds, whether it's a 401k, annuities, or whatever they're invested in. They think of it because they want the cash flow off it, but right in front of you is the same ability to have that cash flow,
right?
And as guaranteed as the others are.
Sure.
Which is
other than treasuries,
nothing's
right.
guaranteed.
Other than treasuries, we can't say anything's guaranteed.
Right. Exactly.
That's just the rules of the game, and I don't know that whether we should be even saying treasuries are guaranteed, but that's a different story.
That's a different story,
right?
But anyways, the point being is if revenue stream is what you're looking for, it's a great way. Todd's got a great program. You do need to go through it and understand it a little bit. It's a learning curve, but
everything is.
Everything is. I mean,
you're dealing with a lot of money, so you should be getting educated.
Right. Exactly.
Unless you just want to pay Uncle Sam, and then you don't have to get educated.
There was an interesting one. I've heard only one of the talk show pundits out there was recommending buying into REITs, real estate investment trusts. And it's like, that's the first time I've heard that, because generally the REIT returns they do a dividend, or they return income. But in this case, you're just creating a mini REIT for yourself.
Right.
And so you're not paying a lot of extra fees and overhead.
And you have a lot of control over it that way.
You got a lot more control.
One of the big problems when you go into some of these private placements, maybe not in the REITs because those are traded on the market, but one of the problems on some of the private placements is trying to liquidate.
Yes.
Right at the end, when you have to liquidate, if it's not everybody liquidating at one time, well, somebody might get the short end of the stick. If you want to get out, right. It's more challenging.
I was, when I was a lot younger, I was in a REIT. And it reminds me of trying to get out of Bitcoin. Right now you can't get out of, if one of the Bitcoin sellers stopped allowing cash out. And so now you have to wait for their cash reserves to build up so they could cash you out. And that's the problem with the REIT. It's not something you get out of tomorrow. It's
right.
something that might take anywhere for, a week to a couple of months, depending on how you signed up for it.
Yeah. Just be aware, just understand that there's variances in everything. There's
Yes.
risks and rewards, and the key is getting educated. But our broadcast today, we just wanted to share the concept that, you know, something, if you're a renter right now and your lease is coming up and you're contemplating buying, well, maybe you want to start with that landlord that you're at with right now and just have the conversation. You know, something, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, or Mr. and Mrs. Landlord, you know, my lease is coming up. I'm thinking about buying. Do you have any interest in selling this property? If they do, give us a call so we can explain and explore the tax ramifications. We'll put you in touch with those folks. Put you in touch with Jim Norton, who has a lot of experience in this area as well. And obviously, our team can help with any of the financing needs you have. And as always, I ask you, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to Josh, who's engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.